Good morning and welcome back. Many people experience feelings of loneliness and isolation during the holidays, even when they're surrounded by family and friends. Two North Texas ladies are tackling this issue on their podcasting platform. Joining us right now is Karla Hutcherson and Brandi, co-hosts of Mental Perk. Good morning to you, ladies.
Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you so much for having
Oh,
us.
glad to have you. You guys are looking great. I see the Christmas tree behind you as well.
Gotta be a little festive.
Yes. Ladies, before we get into the definition and the meaning of holiday loneliness, tell us about yourselves and this awesome podcast that you've started.
So I'm a licensed counselor. And so basically, Brandi and I met when we were working on a nonprofit organization regarding teenage suicide. And we decided that we needed to talk more about mental health. We need to destigmatize, talk about mental health. And so we decided to start this podcast.
Oh,
And
wonderful.
I'm Brandi Mock here, and I'm an entrepreneur and author, and we just love talking about mental health, destigmatizing it.
Oh, I totally agree with you guys. Let's get into the issue of the holiday blues right now. Tell us about that and how it can happen in a variety of ways, and what are the signs to look out for?
So there's two significant areas that one might find themselves either isolated or feeling alone. And one of those would be like a major life change, or it could be the loss of a loved one. Yeah, and some of those signs that we see when someone is really struggling, they might, maybe they're not answering your text or your calls as quickly as possible, or maybe they have some uncharacteristic behaviors or low interest, low motivation, and they're just not really responding to those that they care about.
Well, how do we address that?
A lot of it is making sure you get therapy, making sure you speak to someone, don't isolate yourself, talk to someone. There's so many different ways that you can cope through these situations. And it's just really important to make sure that you surround yourself with loved ones, whether it's the therapist or friends and family.
It's so important to connect. As human beings, we're not meant to be alone. We're meant to have community.
You're right.
And so it's so important to really connect, even when you don't feel like it, because that's part of the healing process.
You had mentioned the holiday season, it can feel very different with the loss of a loved one. Do you have any tips for those that might be going through that right now? Maybe this is their first Christmas, their first holiday without mom or dad, and they're struggling right now.
A lot of people unfortunately go through that this time of year, and it's, the first new for everything. And so I think a lot of it is making sure that for me, I know it was going to serve other people, like serving the homeless or serving shut-ins, or making sure I put myself out there. And also, too, make sure you honor your loved one you lost. You'll find that you are sad, but there's a lot of times whenever you start to bring up all the good memories, it just kind of brings joy to your heart, and it makes you happier than you thought you'd be around this time of year.
It's important to be real with your feelings and be in your feelings, because that's part of the grieving process and that's part of the healing process. So try not to stuff those feelings away. Feel them as you're in that moment. It's so important to be present with those feelings and really allow yourself to work through that grief.
Oh, ladies, great insight. Before we go here, how can people reach out? How can they listen to the Mental Perk?
Yeah, you can find us on any major podcast site and any app. We also have a YouTube channel, and you can also find us on our website at mentalperk.org.
All right, Karla Hutcherson, Brandi Mock, thank you so much for joining us this morning. I wish we had more time.
Thank you so much for having us.
Of course, and happy holidays
Merry
to you.
Christmas to all of you.
Of course. The time right now is 8:23. When we come back,